Hello, good night. Welcome to Yankee and Yardie podcast. I'm Yankee, one half of Yardie, and Yardie, which is Star Boss. He's my other half. Tonight we are discussing crime and violence in Jamaica. We have a special guest, Jati One Love. So he'll be here. We'll do some commentary. There's some things that I want to go over tonight with everything that's going on in Jamaica as far as the crime. I think that it's important for us to, review everything that's going on. And we're going to talk about some things that are going on in Jamaica with the violence and also with politics as far as Jamaica and the U.S. and the U.S. consulate. So I pulled up the U.S. consulate's website, and I am going to read a Jamaican travel advisory. Not sure if any of you have gone on this website lately. Apparently, this has been on the website since August. It's definitely something to think about. So I'm going to read the country summary. And it reads as, okay, violent crimes such as home invasions, robberies, sexual assaults, homicides are common. Sexual assaults occur frequently, including at all-inclusive resorts. Local police lack the resources to respond effectively to serious incidents. Emergency services vary throughout the island, and response times may vary from U.S. Standard Time. Okay, so basically they're telling you that if you are injured or you're in trouble, don't depend on the ambulance to come pick you up. You're just going to be left there. The U.S. government personnel are prohibited from traveling to these areas listed below. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these areas. I bet it's, areas in Kingston. All right, so Cassava Peace, that's a no-fly zone. Downtown Kingston, okay, that's a no-go zone. Okay, they're naming some streets. Mountain View Avenue, Hagley Park Road, South Halfway Tree, Old Hope Road, Downtown Kingston, Trentstown, Tivoli Gardens, and Arnett Gardens. Okay, Grants Pen and Standspipe. All right. It looks like Montego Bay. There's some areas that are listed as well. So it's telling us that shootings occur regularly in some of these areas in Montego Bay. So do not travel. Do not X out, danger sign, travel to the following areas. Canterbury, Claver Street, Flankers, Hart Street, Norwood, Rose Heights. Okay. Let's see some other areas that are no-go zones. Spanish Town, do not travel to. Violent shootings occur regularly in Spanish Town. All right, OMG. All right, this is looking pretty scary. So I'm going to go to you, Star Boss. What do you think about this? I mean, you are a born Jamaican. This is a travel advisory coming from the U.S. Department of State, telling tourists that they should beware and really reconsider travel to Jamaica. Considering that Jamaica, your biggest industry is tourism. I mean, what type of outlook does the island have if the U.S. government is warning people not to go? So I want to get your perspective on this. How do you feel?
Well, we have a bad feeling as Jamaican because that our economy really relies on tourism. So these restrictions have a lot of bad impact on Jamaicans, especially in these noted communities, because tourists love to explore Jamaica when they go there. So at the end of the day, if they are not safe, once they go on this website, they are going to think twice if they should go, because they don't know if they are going to be safe, especially in Montego Bay, where the crime is definitely out of control. People is breaking into hotels and security guard is standing at the gate, so they are not safe anywhere. So it's a precautionary measures that all tourists should take. As a Jamaican, we are not safe in our own country, so the tourist is not safe anyway.
Geez, but isn't that sad? I mean, I can recall a time when people could leave their doors open in Jamaica. I mean, I've heard of that time. I'm young, so I wasn't around in that time when people could just like, keep their doors open. But I heard that that was the case. And now, this seems dramatic. We're getting like a spike in crime. I mean, I even heard that Jamaica is number one in Latin America and the Caribbean for crime. And that's sad, especially considering Jamaica is a small island. Um, One Love, I'm gonna go to you. What do you think about this? You are born Jamaican as well. You grew up in the country surrounding Montego Bay. I want to know how Jamaica has changed and in your opinion on this.
Well, back in 1985, in the 70s, I don't remember in the 60s, still, but in that time, tourists was nice. I remember when tourists usually come to Jamaica and they usually driving on the buggy. It's beach buggy, them call them. It's a type of car where you don't have no top, and tourists could have go out. They could walk the street at night. They could sleep on the beach, pitch the tent and sleep on the beach. Nobody no bother them.
Yeah.
But now in the what we know in the 20s now, it's terrible now because people can't walk the street. All the hotel them turn um exclusive. That means you have to buy package, and when you go to the hotel, you get food, everything you get inside of the hotel. That means you can't come out. And if you do come out, they warn you this: you can't walk, you can't go near Canterbury, you can't go Glendevon, you can't go Nahud. You have to take a tour bus from the hotel, and the hotel have to bring you in that tour bus and take you around those neighborhood just to look. But you as a tourist, you cannot walk in that neighborhood and really meet the native and talk to the talk to the people them and sample the fruit and sample the food and say hi to the kids, and that's really sad.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but I think the government need to do much more to the tourism in Jamaica with more police on the street and cut down on the crimes. That's people feel much safer. But one party come in, they do this, another party come in, they do that. They're not curbing the crime as they should.
Well, considering that the tourist industry is, one of Jamaica's, if not the biggest industry in Jamaica, it's something that needs to be safeguarded and protected. Um, it's just a bit sad, to read this travel advisory because I
Yeah,
used to travel to Jamaica frequently, and now it has me thinking twice and reconsidering travel. Is it really safe?
yeah. In the 80s, Jamaica was so safe in the 80s, 70s and 80s, and a little part of the 90s. But you could go to Jamaica, you could go to the club, you could just walk home on the street. Nobody bother you. Even in Canterbury, because I was living in Montego Bay. At night, I could go down to Canterbury because Canterbury is like the ghetto. Is like
Mhm.
Canterbury is like King Street down to Montego Bay. It's where the ghetto like all the houses they like join into each other. So if fire start on one, maybe burn down the whole gully bottom. So Canterbury is where the ghetto at. And
Mhm.
now first time I could go down there, I'll see those guys smoking the joint, drinking the beer, playing the domino, playing the music, you know, talking jokes. But no, they don't do that no more. All they do smoking and play with their guns. So it's
Well,
really terrible.
yeah, and especially your particular area of Jamaica, which would be like the Montego Bay area, like Green Island over there. That area is being overrun by scammers.
Um, Montego Bay,
Yeah,
it run like a lot of scammers. Green Island, a little bit of scammers down there. I don't think much scammers in Green Island, but the scammers them in the city, they always go in the country and buy the land and buy the big houses
yeah.
because in the city get hot, like Kingston get hot. So may they plan to move to St. Anne's. They may plan to move to Trelawney, and going to new neighborhood and start the garbage there and mess up the new neighborhood. But I don't know. The country's turned into. It's a shame though. It's a beautiful island.
So, I have a question for both of you, but I'm gonna ask Starboss.
Hmm.
Within the next couple of years, retirement will be coming up. Are you going to retire back to Jamaica? Are you thinking about coming back home to live? Or is the crime and violence deterring you? Starboss, you still there?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
All right, Starboss, I don't know if you heard me, but I posed a question to you. I said retirement is coming up for you in the next couple of years. Do you think that you'll go back home, or is the crime and violence kind of deterring you?
I definitely want to go back home, but I'm thinking very, very hard because the crime and violence is out of control, and they don't seem to come up with a plan to curb crime and violence in Jamaica. So until then, I can analyze the situation as time goes by.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sometimes it just feels like it's not worth it. It's like when you could buy prime real estate or prime property in, let's just say, Miami, or, somewhere in Florida or down south, and you can like live into your golden years. Like you could just live. The way things are going now, tourists and returning residents are being killed left and right. It's just kind of like a scary prospect. And it's sad because, you were born in Jamaica, raised in Jamaica, to have to think twice about coming home. And I think that this is one of the things that the government's going to have to look at, because overall, you're going to see people, migrating from Jamaica, coming to the US, the UK, Canada, and not returning. Overall, how is that going to affect the Jamaican economy? Who knows? I don't think it's going to affect it in a good way. So One Love,
Hmm.
are you thinking about going back to Jamaica? Are you gonna relocate back home, or?
No, sir. When they plan long time ago, say me go Jamaica, me go build a nice house, bring out music,
Mhm.
lay back on the beach, look at the pretty girls. But it ain't gonna work no more because too much violent, man.
Yeah.
Once they know you're a return resident and you go home and you retire and you have a little money, you build a little house, they kicking off your door, they coming down you, even when you have steel bar at your door. Because in Jamaica, you build a house, you build it like a prison. Because you have steel at the window, even your door and your veranda is full of steel. And your front door have steel. And the guys them know when they're breaking people house, then they walk around with torch. And then they burn off the steel. While in the house, they burn off the steel and make a hole.
Wow.
And come in upon you and what you call it, house invasion. You know, and by
Jeez.
time, yeah, and by time you call the police they don't have no vehicle. Sometimes the police have one vehicle, and the vehicle gone at that place. Sometimes the superintendent drive the vehicle gone in sweetheart or in girlfriend yard, park up, and when somebody call the station, there's no vehicle to take you to where the crime happening. So by the time you go on your phone and you're there 911, you're going to die anyway. Because there's no
Mm.
police to come to assist you because you are way out, maybe 5 miles from the police station, 7 miles up the hill, and you have to. And sometimes where you live at, you have to park the car, yeah, so, and you have to walk half a mile on the foot to go to your house. So it's kind of no good.
Dangerous. Sounds
Yeah,
sounds.
and
Hmm.
maybe they said uptown. Maybe maybe they said if you like you go to Jamaica, you buy a house, you go uptown. Uptown is where the fancy people them live. Like
Oh, like a gated community.
yeah, the Jamaican runner live, and all of those rich people live
Usain Bolt.
uptown. Yeah, uptown. No, there's no crime uptown. Much there's not happening uptown.
Geez,
But
that's the big million. Like that's the $1 million, rich, affluent, everyone is that hasn't reached that status. You gotta
yeah,
have
uptown
money to
Trilo.
live there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
These are
So
celebrities. What about the regular person? Someone like
right.
you or I. What will we do?
So what we do now, we have a little piece of land in the country, and we come from America and retire, we go home and we build a big house in the country. And now they have a lot of guys in the country. It's not that they want to rob you, it's not that they want to kill you, but they can't get no jobs.
Do you really think that that's the problem, though?
That's
That
part of the
drops because
problem.
it is. I agree with you, but I listen to other vloggers, and I've been watching the news, and it's like uh, they're saying I hear people say all the time like, oh, it's not that they are poor. Don't say that they're poor, but it is part of the problem. It is part of the problem. Poverty
Right.
poverty leads to many different things. It leads to people not being educated. And that's
Because
another main problem. When you're not educated, if you're not educated, you can't get a job. If you can't get a good job, then you have no money. If you don't have any money, then you're out on the street robbing, stealing, and looking to take something from someone else that you don't have.
are
So,
homeless. A lot of people, when you go on the street in Montego Bay, you see them lay on the street, they're homeless in
yeah.
cardboard box and so forth. So it's it's kind of terrible. It's really no good that way because back in the 80s and the 70s and maybe the 60s, nobody wasn't robbing. You could sleep with the door open. Nobody
Yeah.
wasn't robbing nobody. You'd go to the movies, walk home, walk at night in the dark when you put your hand at your face and you do like this with your hand. You can't see nothing. Oh, it's so dark, but nobody don't bother you. But no, you can't walk go nowhere now.
Yeah. And I mean, even speaking of that, there's really no place that's safe now. I wanted to touch on some recent news. I don't know if you heard about it or not. There was a woman that was shot and killed in church. In church, praise and worshiping in church, shot, killed. Someone was taken out in church. I don't know how much worse that can get. I don't think it can get much worse than that.
um,
So I'm just going to bring an article from the Green Gleaner up on the screen. So, this lady looks like a nice lady, a beautiful woman. Her name was Andrea Lowe Garwood. So it appears that the murder was actually caught on film indirectly. There was like a Facebook live stream that was going on inside the church. I don't know if you saw the video footage. It's been like all over, online. But I'm just going to read part of the article from the Gleaner. So this came out yesterday. It was an update. So woman killed during church service in Falmouth. All right. So the victim has been identified as 50-year-old Andrea Lowe Garwood of Stonebrook Manor in the parish. She was an employee of the National Commercial Bank. Police say the incident happened around 10:30 a.m. as Lowe Garwood worshipped at church. They say a man entered the church building, brandished a handgun. He opened fire, hitting Lowe Garwood several times, and then escaped to a waiting motor car. As I said, the events were captured on a Facebook live stream. I mean, it was heartbreaking. It was jarring. It was shocking. It was, I mean, I'm just speechless. I have no words. So I kind of want to get your opinion on it, Star Boss. What are you thinking about this? How did this crime make you feel? Where does Jamaica go from this? Starboss, you still there? I think we lost Starboss.
Hello?
Starboss, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. I don't know if did you just hear me?
Yeah, I said that is outrageous. That goes to show that there is no respect for life. Even in the church, you are not safe. A place of worship. You see what happened. As a Jamaican, it's scary. And I think the leaders are out of ideas right now how to curb crime and violence in Jamaica. They need to go back to the drawing board and come up with some strategic plan that can curb crime. If you're at your home, you're not safe. Nowhere at all, you're not safe. As a Jamaican, it's scary. And remember, they are depending on the visitors for a large percentage of their revenue. And when you cannot curb crime in your own country, the people are going to want to go elsewhere. So that is bad.
Yeah. I mean, it's just getting from bad to worse. Every time, I read an article in the Gleaner or I see something on YouTube or I, see anything in regards to Jamaica, I'm like, okay, this can't get any worse. I mean, but it does. It continues to get worse. What can the government do? What should they do? Do we need more, cops on the street? Do we need more police, law enforcement? Is that the answer? I have my own opinion on this. I
No,
feel
people need love, cuz.
well, you're not wrong.
People need love, man. They don't got no love. You know
You're
what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. There's no
Because
love.
with that lady what get shot in the church there, who know what she do somebody? Because okay, it's two sides to a story. You understand? Some people hurt some people so bad that's they drive another person off the cliff to do things what they
Oh,
don't
but
want
wait,
to do.
but wait a second, wait a second.
Uh-huh.
So there's nothing someone could do that could justify someone going into a church and shooting them.
Well, remember, the church, the building is not the church. The church is you. The building we're going is just the building. We just call the building the church, but the church is just like a house where you go in and worship. But the church or the temple of God, what they say is us. You understand? And if she's a temple and she acting like that, the man die. No, the man have his wife, live with the man have a son 14 years old. The wife die of cancer. The man and the wife have a house. Then the man married the new wife, this lady. Then what this lady plan to do now? She want to bring.
Allegedly,
She
allegedly, because
want
we
to
don't
bring.
know.
She want to bring everything in her control. So what she would do now? She would advise the husband to sell that house because the house is in the wife's name and the husband name. So he would advise the husband now to sell the house and then buy a new one, and the new one will be in her name, and everything will go in her name, and kick out the little boy because even Serena here with me. If anything happened to me tomorrow, I have to watch my mother. You understand what I'm saying? Because they don't care about the little one; they care about themselves. They care about money. They love money, and they hurt people for money. So, as what they said, I don't know if it's true or not. That's what part of what she did. She take all of the man's possession, and the stepson she kick away. So
Hmm.
if she can do that and hurt somebody, what the son do was wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's not good to go in the church and shoot nobody or kill anybody. You don't give life, you don't take life. But that lady drive that person over the edge. What do that? Because I don't think it's envy.
So look, I mean, like I said again,
Uh huh.
this is all alleged because we don't know. These are rumors that are out here, which I did hear
No
that.
man, she have to do something. Remember, there have to be a smoke before a fire.
Yeah, but even if she was the most wickedest woman, she was the wicked witch of the West, right? Did she really deserve that to happen? No.
Yeah, man.
Was there
Listen
another
me.
way out
Listen me.
for the son? If allegedly all these things occurred, and allegedly the stepson was the one who perpetrated the murder and ordered it, would
Well,
would there be another option for him? I'm saying that he could have taken her to court.
well, if that was me, I wouldn't do her nothing. I would just say a prayer and move on. You understand? But some people don't take it like that. Some people might just forget it. Some people might leave it alone. And some people might just get a gun and kill you. And that was that guy's decision because she messed with the wrong person. Me and you would do it different. I wouldn't go in a church and kill nobody because that's no good. You don't steal from a church, you don't rob a church, and you don't go in the church and kill nothing. You go in the church to pray, to worship, to sing, and church is a place what you're supposed to be safe. It's supposed to be the safest place in the whole wide world.
It used to be. Correction, church used to be the safest place.
No, for real.
Now,
Yeah.
this is not the first murder that occurred in the church, even within the past 24 months. So there's a pattern here of lawlessness. People don't have respect or reverence for the church at all. No morals at all. And I think that's part of the problem why there's such a high crime rate in Jamaica. Like,
Well,
Jamaica
people
lost the
people do
morals.
not. I don't think people respect the church no more because the pastors the pastor was supposed to be setting the example. They're not setting the example. The pastor married, he sit on the pulpit and he tell you, don't fornicate. And he's in the back room having an affair with one of the church members. He have to do what he preach and make people
Yeah,
respect the church.
but pastors are just, men or women. They're humans, just like we are.
So how telling us not to do something and them doing it after? That's unfair.
I mean, it's hypocritical. I'm not saying that that's right.
You tell me
But
don't
what
eat the
I
fruit. And he eating all of the fruit. I went
no,
to go eat it myself.
no. But what I am saying is that is hypocritical. But what do you expect a human being? People can make mistakes, you know. No
Yeah,
one's
that's true.
perfect.
That's true. You're right there.
I mean,
Mm.
but there just has to be like there just has to be an answer. But I think the answer
Love.
to
Love is the answer. Love. People need love, man.
people can't eat love though. You can't eat love.
Well,
If you're
no,
starving,
you
can love
can't
feed
eat it,
you,
but
clothe you?
no, but if you do, okay, if you do not have love, you just have to have just war and envy and crime and thing. But if you're hungry, you could steal. Okay, but why steal and kill the man after you take what he got? That's no good. Leave the man to go work another day to
But
provide for himself.
that brings it back to morals. There's no morals. There's no fear of God. There's no respect for self. This is why these people are mindlessly killing. Because at one time, someone could rob you, stealing, robbing, bad. We know this. But they
Hmm.
could rob you, but they wouldn't kill you. Now, when they rob you, they have to kill you.
But when I was growing up way in the 80s and in the 70s, I never hear people killing little babies. I never hear gunmen shooting babies. I can't get over that part. Why rob somebody then kill the whole family, even the little baby?
Oh my God. So we don't even want to start on the kids that are being killed and all that crime. That's like for a whole nother conversation. It's sad.
Yeah,
It's
I just
disgusting.
say
It's
no
pathetic.
moral.
No morals. I think it all boils down to the lack of morals.
Yeah.
There's no fear in God anymore. There's no God. People don't believe in anything. They only believe in money.
Mm.
Material things are king. They have to
Mm-mm.
have their, fancy car. They have to have their nice clothes. They don't care who they have to kill or screw over or what they have to do to get it. So, I think we're gonna wrap up this segment. I'm gonna get some final thoughts from Starboss and hear what he thinks overall about the crime and about this situation. I don't know, Starboss, do you have anything to add to this?
Well, it comes down to morals because sometimes people are making this excuse about they are poor, so they turn to violence and crime. Nothing like that. They have most of these crime producers have money,
Mhm.
and the more money they have is the more crime. The more money they have, everyone wants to become a Dan. So the thing, it is far gone when people talk about when they are poor, you have more violence. Nothing like that. The
Hmm.
youths nowadays who claims that they want to be this man, they want to be the leader of the communities, and the communities are so close. So then you find that Dan is fighting against Dan, and they are in close proximity. So the more money they have is the more problem. How they come by these guns? They have to have money to buy these guns and ship these guns into the country. Then the more gun they have, the more money they have, the more gun they buy. Then you have an upsurge in actually every community in Jamaica right now. It is far spread. I don't know what they are going to do to curb these violence now. The police force is overwhelmed right now. So the leader, the Minister of Security, Mr. Ore Strong, have to come up with a plan to curb and wrestle back Jamaica from these ruthless criminals. That is my take on it.
Starboss, you said something interesting, which I found really interesting. You're saying that it's not that some of these criminals are impoverished. They're not poor. They have money, but they're using their money to strengthen what would it be, the underworld, the underbelly of the underworld. They're investing in crime. So they're using their money instead of for good, for evil.
Definitely, definitely.
I mean, that's interesting. One would think if you have money or if you're rich, it's like, why would you even need to even go into that world of badness? Why would you, mess around with drugs, guns, scamming, anything like that if you had money? Usually people that don't have money, that are poor, are using that as a gateway to get rich.
That's true.
Yeah. So that's interesting. That's the first time I've ever heard someone say that.
But I think the political leaders in the country, for example, Edward Siaga, when he was running back in the 70s or maybe in the 60s, in his time, they are the one who ship all the gun to Jamaica. They are the one who have all the dance, Tivoli, Ornate Garden, all those fighting against each other. Siaga, he's the one control the whole of Ornate Garden. Then the PMP control that over that side, and they have the big man over that, and they're shipping the guns. So from those times, that's why they have Coke. Coke is the one that's I think the PMP was trying to protect from
Dudis.
coming
So
over here.
are we talking about Dudis, or are we talking about the father?
Dodos are both of
Okay.
them. Are
Okay.
both of them, because both of them was linked to the politician.
So then basically you're saying that the political leaders in Jamaica have been in bed with these criminals for years.
From there, from what you call it now? Oh my gosh, I can't find the word. From long time ago, from the beginning.
So even, I mean, until today?
Even until today. But it get out of control now. So a lot of them branch off to their own.
Well, then the situation is hopeless if you look at it that way, because if the people that are supposed to be protecting the country are part of the problem, then how can the problem
you just hit
be
it?
solved?
And the most criminal in Jamaica right now is the police.
Jeez.
Is the police. The police them is criminal. You cannot trust a policeman nowadays. At night, at day he walk at street like he protecting us, and at night he robbing people and killing people.
I've heard people say that,
Yeah.
that, a lot of people, you're definitely not the first person that I've heard that.
Because the government do not take care of the police. They don't get a police in Jamaica will make $70,000 a month. $70,000 Jamaican a month. That is about $400, $500 Jamaican US money. I mean, you understand? Even people on disability making more than what they're making, $500 a month. Because they're not making no money. So when a police pull you over on the street, the first thing he asks, "What's up, man? What you have for me?" You run the light, he say, "What you have for me?" You have to take out some money and say, "He boss." Then he go on. You call that a bribe, but they call it survival. Because they don't pay them nothing.
Wow. And this is also could be a standalone topic on its own that we should probably, within the next couple of weeks discuss.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of hard.
Yeah. All right. I guess we'll kind of leave it there.
Yeah, man.
One love. Thank you
Tell
so
that.
much for coming out
Oh,
and
sure.
being a part of the podcast. We thank you for the strength. We thank you for the support. It was a great vibe. It was a good.
Yeah, man. It was a great vibe, man.
Yeah. So definitely next time
Hello.
we will talk again about these topics. One love. And, I want to say to anyone listening, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to Yankee and Yardie's podcasts. We want to come back and bring a lot more good content, good topics. We're going to have open forums. We're going to have people being able to call in and comment. So if you did like the video, please like. If you didn't like it, you can dislike too. Please leave a comment. Let us know what you think about it. Until next time, Yardie,
Starbucks, one
Yankee,
love, my boy.
we're signing off.
Yeah, man. Take care, Starbucks.